Yes, everybody. Hope you're all safe and well. Julian Lopetegui just finished his press conference ahead of the game against Man United at the weekend. So let's go in and talk about what's been said, shall we? Yes, everybody. So I hope you're all safe and well. As I said, lunchtime now. This morning spoke about the Ghanaian young lad we got on loan, but Julian has just finished his press conference. And there wasn't one question, really, about the team news. It was a lot of questions about Kudus, who we know isn't playing. There's one question about his replacement, but that was it, really, in terms of asking about the game. And considering this is the first Friday one, possibly, under Julien, where he's always said, oh, well, we got training the next day, so we have to wait and see. In the embargo, in the broadcast section, nothing was asked. But anyway, let's get into it. There's some random questions being asked and some interesting ones about Jose Mourinho as well, who, after the game against Man United yesterday, the Fenerbahce manager was saying he was looking to maybe get back into Europe, back into the Premier League in the next couple of years. So let's start with, what should we start with? Let's start with Kudus. So, Hello, there we go. So he was asked quite a lot about Kudus. It was the first few questions. Basically, unfortunately, and I'll give you the for sure counter at the end. Unfortunately, Kudus is going to be out for 3 games. A bit more because his behaviour was not good, and he knows that. It's a pity because he did a good game and could have scored 2 goals. He knows he has to improve his temperament because this cannot happen. I am sure this will be the last time it happens. Well, because he might not be a West Ham player by the time he's back. The only way to handle frustration is to focus on the match, because these kinds of behaviours ruin the match. I talked to him, and sometimes you don't have a talk a lot about this kind of situation because he knows it was a mistake. I'm sure for sure. Did I include that for sure? I don't know. He knows it was a mistake, and his behaviour will be better in the future. Then he was asked about whether he'd spoken to him and about the charges and stuff. Let's see what's going to happen. I don't want to talk about this because the important thing is to focus on the player who will play in his place. We have to catch this moment and opportunity for the team and for all the players. I'm sure the player playing in his place is going to do well and help us to win the match. Asked whether it was Somerville who's going to come in, which we pretty much assume it will be. He said, we have players ready to play for him, and I am not going to say the lineup today. I am sure the player who is going to play in his place is going to do well. It's sometimes that's one's problem is another's opportunity, and I hope this is the case. That last line should be on one of those things on Facebook, shouldn't it? One person's problem is another person's opportunity. But obviously, we spoke about, there was a lot of questions about Man United, and obviously, some people have been labelling this El Sacico in terms of Ten Hag. And he was asked whether he was feeling the pressure in terms of being West Ham head coach and obviously not having a great start. And he basically said, when you become a coach, you live with pressure always. It's that kind of life about us. We don't have the best start or start we wanted to have, but we are sure we are taking steps to arrive at the end of the season in the position we want to be. 17th. I believe a lot of these players, and I am sure the results we desire will arrive. The only way is to work hard and try to silence the critics by improving, and this is the way we work. There we go. And then he asked whether he could be empathetic towards Ten Hag. He's in a very similar position to him, arguably, and he said, I think that all coaches are under pressure. Sometimes more, sometimes less, depending on the last matches. I am not going to talk about another club or another coach or another club. We are going to play a big club. We have to be ready to face them, to play hard, and to work hard to beat them. Go on, Lopetegui! But obviously, there was questions around Man U's style. The fact is they play lots of different types of style, and someone alluded to the fact that obviously he would have done his homework on Ten Hag, and does he know the style they play? And he said, for me, it's very clear. They have one way to play, to attack, to offend, and we have to analyse that to beat them, for sure. I don't know if I clicked that for sure as well. Don't matter. It's well into double figures, considering it's about a 5-minute press conference. One thing we, asked about, as mentioned, particularly the Fenerbahce game, Mourinho's comments afterwards saying he was looking to get back into the English game in a couple of years' time. What does that mean? What does he think? And he basically sort of palmed that one off pretty quickly, saying, I have nothing to talk about him. I'm the coach of West Ham. We have enough work to do. This is one for you, not me, for sure. And then he was asked about what a win could do for morale against Man United. Obviously, we had a good win against Ipswich. Shit game on last Saturday, but what could a Man United win do for us? And he basically said that we work and we live for victories, and for sure, it would be very good for all of us. I prefer to work rather than to imagine the victory. We have to work very hard, be focused, believe in ourselves, and be ready to compete in the best way to win the match. And then questions around inconsistency. He said, we are playing against different teams. Well, there's a shock. And each match we have had key moments. We have to try and have more consistency and to play better. I can imagine how this team can develop, what it can do. We're going to work hard to make sure this real as soon as possible. I'm sure we're going to win matches, and we are focused on this. I'm glad you're focusing on winning matches, Julien. Christ hopes you're not focused on losing matches. But asked about defensive issues. Obviously, we had a pacing at the weekend. We've had a few pacings already this season already. Chelsea 3-0 as well, Liverpool in the Cup. And clearly, defence, despite the fact we've probably got better defenders now. And actually, I think probably Max Kilman's probably the only one who's come out of it of any... Well, even that, we've conceded so many goals, but he's probably been our most consistent player this season, which is weird when we've conceded a load of goals. But in terms of defensive issues, always the defence work is the work of the whole team. Sometimes in your defensive work, you can do better, but it's for the whole team. We've talked about this, to be more consistent and to be more aggressive in our box. So we're going to give away half a dozen penalties on Sunday. I'm sure we're going to find this level. In the meantime, we have to put the focus on the next challenge, which is Man United. Well, hopefully that goes hand in hand. Talk about the defensive issues and play against Man United, hopefully. And then that was it. And thereby is the Julian Lopetegui press conference ahead of the game against Man United on Sunday. That's your lot. That's your lot. In terms of the for sure rating, I counted 5, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. 24 at least for sures, and I probably missed a couple. So we'll round up to 25. 25 for sures from Julian Lopetegui today. So top work from him in terms of that. Keep an eye on the channel. We'll have Hammers headlines later on, talking about Man United and talking about how many players are on the injury list for them ahead of the game on Saturday. It's quite a few, almost the whole side. Talk about a Ivorian youngster we've been linked with, a winger, and also talk about Levi Lang returning back to West Ham potentially from his loan spell to Cheltenham Town because of a horrible knee injury. But if you like what we do, don't forget to like, comment, share. All that good stuff. Also, don't forget, if you hadn't seen it, Martin Godliman, the guinea pig, so to speak, on our new series, Desert Island Games, where he gets to pick 3 games that he will take to Desert Island and watch for all eternity, or until he pops his clogs, which, no, Martin, isn't that long. But it's a good chat, about an hour and a half, so, want to listen to something at night, help you drift off, feel free to tune into that. And until next time, take care, stay safe, stay warm, stay humble, keep the faith, my bloody friends, and for sure, come on, you wines. Much love, for sure.